Hey guys, how you doing? It's morning here and I'm in a motel room. I'm helping a friend move from Edmonton to Vancouver Island, and we are here in Hope, BC. BC stands for Brincash, province of British Columbia. And I'm reading the news and I had to share this with you guys. It just confounds me and shocks me, and I just don't understand it. Let me read you the headline here. Mississippi, the state in the United States. The state of Mississippi is pleading with people to stop using a livestock drug to treat COVID-19. Mississippi health officials are pleading with residents not to take a medicine meant for cows and horses as an alternative to getting COVID-19 vaccination. In a state with the nation's second lowest rate of vaccination against the coronavirus, a jump in the number of calls to the Poison Control Department prompted an alert Friday from the Mississippi State of Health about ingesting the drug ivermectin. The department said that at least 70% of the calls to the state poison control center were related to people who ingested a version of the drug that is formulated to treat parasites in cows and horses. You read this and you just wonder how, why, who, what? Like, it's a joke, right? This is a South Park episode. No, this is reality. And you ask yourself, how is it possible that this could be the case? I looked up this drug, ivermectin, so that because once you Google it, you get a whole bunch of weird answers of what it is that are all lies. Ivermectin is sold under brand names such as Stromectol, among others, is a medication that is used to treat parasite infections in humans and includes head lice, scabies, river blindness, strongyloidosis, can't pronounce it, and Iraq can't pronounce it, and lymphatic filariasis. In veterinary medicine, it's used to prevent and treat heartworm, and blah, 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 blah. So it's a medication that's been in use since, let me read down here, since the 1990s. And it's something that, like similar to Marty, my little dog, the vet gave him a heartworm pill that he had to take. It's part of what dogs take. I'm sure it's something like that. How did people in Mississippi decide that it was a good idea to take this medication? Now, I guess you can't get the human version without going to your doctor and actually having a reason to get it prescribed for you. So these smart people in Mississippi thought, well, I can't get it from the doctor, but I can go to the vet and get a similar medication that's good for horses and cows, and I can take that. And some of them were stupid enough to not realize that a horse that weighs 1,000 pounds might have to take a pretty big pill. And maybe they shouldn't take the whole pill, but what am I even talking about? Why should they even take a quarter of the pill? Like, how do they even come up with it? How do morons, how does a moron cope? How does a moron, can we save them? How did they figure out to do this? Somehow it became a thing for people to take this drug. And I searched around, well, how is this possible? Well, one of the ways it's possible is that some freakoid idiots are promoting stuff like this. And this could happen on social media or Facebook, or it just so happens that there's a guy, a radio host named Phil Valentine, who has a talk show in Nashville. He's a conservative radio host, and he is an avid anti-vaxxer and has made fun of the vaccine, and went so far to on his show record a song a parody called Vax Man, with the same tune as the Beatles' Tax Man. So you're the Vax Man, boom, 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 making fun of the vaccine. He is on his show said, and I quote, I have a very low risk, A, of getting COVID, and B, of dying of it. Why would I risk getting a heart attack or paralysis by getting a vaccine? He also said at the time that he had been taking the anti-parasite medication ivermectin, a drug that comes in different forms for animals and humans. And he's promoting on his radio show that he's not taking the vaccine. He does, has a low chance of getting COVID, and if he gets it, he has a low chance of dying. And he's taking ivermectin, and so he should be okay. And this is a guy that has a show that plays on hundreds of stations in the southern United States that a lot of people listen to, and he would be what we call an influencer. And so he's influenced people through his point of view, whether he believes his point of view or whether he's just doing it to get listeners to watch his show and make some money. The ironic part is that Phil Valentine died of COVID just about a week ago. Valentine hosted regular talk shows on 99.7 WWTN FM in Nashville. His station wrote in a statement, "We are saddened to report that our host and friend Phil Valentine has passed away. Please keep Phil and his family in your thoughts and prayers." Hey guys, I'm not going to launch into a rant and a comedy jabs at Mr. Poor Phil, who has passed away. But he's one of the reasons that some people are taking this cow drug. Guys, the stuff that you see on the internet, the stuff you see on Facebook, the stuff you see these personalities, it's insane. This is why I always say we are swimming in a cloud of bullshit. And the problem is some people understand and can see through a garbage and bullshit, but there are some people, morons, and I use the term affectionately, some morons, people that just don't see that it's all bullshit, actually believe this stuff and act, and it's just sad. So how do you help the morons? Like how do you tell morons, don't take that drug that's for horses because it can kill you? Well, I'll tell you how you tell them, and it's sad because I guess you have to try and lower yourself to the level of a person that would take a drug that's meant for deworming a horse, thinking that will save him from the coronavirus. So the FDA, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, tried to warn people in Mississippi to not take this. And usually when the U.S. Federal Food and Drug Agency issues a statement, it's very it's scientific, and it's got a purpose and meaning. Is very direct. Like such and such has approved for A trials, and we recommend blah blah blah. But the FDA realized that they were targeting an audience of morons, and they issued this statement. This is how they decided that maybe if they try and speak at the level that the morons would understand, it would make a difference. And they tweeted, and I'm not kidding, this is not a South Park episode, guys. This is what the U.S. Food and Drug Administration tweeted to the morons that are taking this horse thing. They tweeted, and I quote, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." Guys, this is the world we live in. Well, I don't live in Mississippi, but it's not even funny. This is what the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, they had to lower themselves to this level to try and reach into the minds of morons that are taking horse and cow deworming drugs instead of getting vaccinated. They put out a release into social media that says, you are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it. And it's just, I've made the mistake in my life, and even in assuming that, you know, you see someone doing something absolutely stupid and you talk about it and you think that you could just tell the guy, or whoever's doing it, just say, dude, like, before you do that, just think about it. And you assume that if you just plead with someone, it's obviously stupid what you're doing. Just think about it and you'll realize that it's stupid and you'll stop. And I realize that that's not the case. It doesn't work like that, because, like, think about it when you were in school and you were in algebra class and the teacher put up an algebra problem and he says, okay guys, to try and do this problem and then we'll discuss the answer. And you look at it and it's a 3 plus 4 equals, and you say, well, 3 plus 4 equals 7. And you got the answer right. And the teacher says, let's review the answers. Who got answer 7? And 2/3 of the class puts up their hand. They say, yeah, we got 7. And 1/3 of the class doesn't put up their hand. The teacher says, well, Jimmy, what did you get? And Jimmy goes, well, 5. And the teacher would say, well, 5 is incorrect. How did you get 5? Well, 3 plus 4, 3, 4, 5. And the teacher would say, well, just think about it, Jimmy. 5 is not the right answer. 7's the right answer. And maybe poor Jimmy, for reasons that we don't understand, Jimmy's brain just doesn't realize that 3 plus 4 is 7. Jimmy's brain is beyond a hope of grasping this concept. And in his brain, Jimmy sees 3 across and 4 and thinks 5. And in his brain, that makes sense. And poor Jimmy, no matter how hard the teacher tries, is unable to grasp the concept of algebra that 3 plus 4 equals 7. Poor Jimmy, through no fault of his own, he didn't try to get the answer wrong. Poor Jimmy is a moron. And I say that use that term in a very affectionate way. That the question is, how do we take care of Jimmy? Or do we need to take care of Jimmy? Or Jimmy's just going to have a different type of life? And there are a lot of Jimmys living in Mississippi. And what can we do other than, I guess you just have to throw up your hands. You have to put the information out there and you have to try your best as a society, but you have to realize that some morons are going to be the victims of their own brains. A radio show host with millions of viewers is on the radio telling people, I'm not going to take the vaccine. I'm healthy. I'm not going to die anyway. And I'm taking ivermectin, so I'm safe. There's people listening to him thinking, yeah, I like that guy. He tells it like it is. Honey, can we get some ivermectin? Well, what? You went to the doctor and he won't prescribe it? Well, what about the stuff we give to the horses? Yeah, the horse ivermectin. Yeah. What? It comes in suppository? What is that? Is that the one we give to the cows? Oh, that's pretty big. I guess you could fit it in there. All right, baby. Yeah, jam it in. And then the guy, oh, God, I jammed a 47-gram pill up my ass, but I think I'll be safe from corona now. You can't help them, right? You can't help them. And it's just mind-bogglingly, bafflingly stupid. But this is what's going on today in the world, in Mississippi. And I throw up my hands. Because, guys, on this channel, I sometimes find these stories and I share them with you, but I be very careful not to give you, I'm not going to give you an opinion what you should do. Obviously, you shouldn't take a drug that is designed for animals. My God. If you hear something on the radio, if you read something on Facebook, if someone that lives in the next trailer next door says his cousin told him this, if you're going to make a medical decision, go talk to your doctor, and hopefully your doctor will steer you in the right direction. Maybe you should go talk to your doctor, and you should say to him, doctor, I want some advice on whether I should take the vaccine or not. Before you give me some, I'd like to know whether you listen to Nashville Talk Radio. And if the doctor says, oh yeah, I'm a big listener of WJQS3, I love that Phil guy, he really tells it like it is. Well, how can I help you? If that's what your doctor says, maybe you should get a different doctor. But I just don't know what the answer is, guys. It's just imagine in a country like the United States that there are scientists and people of intelligence in the Food and Drug Administration and that are sitting there trying to decide how they can formulate a public service announcement targeting a certain group, and they think it's a good idea to look some adults in the eye and tell them, you are not a cow, you are not a horse. Do you think they've understood that so far? I'm not sure if they've understood the point yet. You might have to speak their language now. Yeah, they use that word, y'all. You are not a horse, you are not a car, you are not a train. Y'all, stop it. This is the world we live in, that they thought that that's how they had to communicate. I just don't know what to say anymore. I guess I'm going to get up and we're going to continue on our road trip. Thanks for watching, guys. I had to share that with you because it is so fucked up that I just don't even know what to say. Leave some comments in the video and let me know what you guys think. I'm at a loss for what to say. I'm going to be interested in reading your comments and seeing what you guys think. Stay safe. Just stay. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.